Could you see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir.
have you seen something like this anywhere? A dashboard kind of a thing? So basically, a dashboard is a place where, with the help of charts and graphs, you portray your data, right? You portray your whole Excel sheet into a single sheeter where you can get all those charts, all those important informations, all those, you know, all those data sets in a consolidated visual format. So these Excel dashboards help you to analyze the data very quickly. Like I told you that to analyze a data basis the Excel and through a visual appearance, the visual appearance part is much more easier. So these Excel dashboards will help you to build up those uh, visual appearances. Now, for making a dashboard, what are the prime things that we require? As per you, what are the prime things that we require for making a dashboard?
For example, you told Nazar region, sales, net profit, these kind of things is required.
Yeah. So one, we require data, and then we require efficient working on that data and efficient working on graphs for that data, right? So as I told you, the working on a data. So whenever you are going to create a dashboard, whenever you're going, sorry. So whenever you are working on a dashboard, the first thing that you will require is just a second. Sure. So, whenever you're going to make a dashboard, first you will require data, right? Then you will require a calculation sheet, and the third part would be your dashboard, right? In between, you can also have a chart sheet. So, we are now slowly going to build upon what a dashboard is and how we are going to make a dashboard. So let's all get together and decide that one, we are going to make a dashboard. So here I am creating a new sheet which I'll name as dashboard, right? And I'm going to create another sheet that I'll name as calculations, right? So I'll have a calculation, I'll have a data sheet, and I'll have a dashboard. A data sheet, calculations, and a dashboard. So we are going to make a dashboard, right? We will now start on with making a dashboard. Okay, so most of you are from academics, right? So we are going to make an academic dashboard. Okay. Yeah. Right. So yeah, what are the prime parts that you want to include in an academic dashboard?
For example, student score,
Yeah, student score would be there.
subject name,
Just a second. I'll create one very quickly. Huh? I'll create dashboard data sheet. Right. Yeah, sorry. What were you saying? What will be my first thing?
Yes, sir.
I'll be having
Number of students participation.
students. I'll be having okay. Marks. I'll be
Yes, sir.
having. I'll be having
Subjects.
subjects. I'll be having attendance. Right. Anything else? Any other criteria that you want to look into?
No, sir. Because actually rank will be based on the marks only, no, sir. So
Okay.
it is not
Yeah.
required.
Yeah. Correct. So we'll randomly just start putting up names. Right. I'll need some marks. Right. 400. This will be total marks. Right. Total will be from 1000. And I'm giving him. Just leave it blank. Attendance is 90%. 50%. What will be very less? 78%. 80%. Okay. 92%. 79%. 16%.
The dashboard, no?
Yeah, we are going to create a dashboard out of this. I'm just jotting down the data. Right, we get some subjects like we get physics, we get chemistry, we get math, social studies, we get language. And I say he has scored he has scored 180, 120, 40, 10, this. Or we can simply do, you know this function?
No, sir. It is random, sir.
Yes, this is random, and I'll give it a random number between. I'll it the number should be between 200 to, or rather, it should be more than 98, and it should be 98. everything in here. Right. Okay. So I have all my marks here. I have everything sorted in here. Now what I want is I want to create dashboards out of this, right? We'll create out of dashboards. So what different graphs can we fetch out of this? What are the different graphs that we can fetch out of this?
Histogram.
Sorry.
Histogram.
Yeah, histogram we can put up. A pie chart we can put up. So let's begin with some of the graphs making this. So one, I can know the students' attendance, correct? And I'll insert up a graph here. So once you get a graph, you can change its layout from this part. Right? You can select which layout is suitable for you. So I think this one would be a better one. Right? If you want to change or add chart elements like axes, legends, right? You want to add anything, you can change and add it. You can add a title of the chart like it is given. You can add data labels, how they are going to be there. You can change chart type by selecting this whole chart and then choosing out of the available charts. So whatever you feel like you can do with this chart. So let us say I have this now. I have first of my chart as this. I could have used a donut chart also, but okay. So what I will do is I'll just copy this chart, move to my dashboard, right? And paste it as a, what should I paste it as? As an image. So that whenever I am working on this does not hinder me. So I have my first thing ready. I have my attendance dashboard. What is the next thing? What else can we get from this sheet?
Marks, sir. Marks is possible.
Yeah, of course, marks. So we can get subject wise marks, we can get student wise marks. So first two we'll get this. First we'll create this, again an insert. We'll use a different type of a chart this time. So you can choose any one of them. This is right. I'll again copy this, move to my dashboard, and I have marks chart also ready. Then we again move to the one second, the the formula sheet. We need to have it. Yeah. So what else? this is one thing, and these subjects are one thing. Individual student performance, right? Ram's
Even you can create subject-wise marks, language and student.
correct. So I can create subject wise marks for Ram. Right? Not only this, you could also, something like uh, uh, like a different set of a chart. This is for Ram, right? This is an individual performance chart for Ram,
Yes.
right? Control C, dashboard. This is something like this. And another thing that we can do is we can create student specific comparison.
Even though, sir, we can compare the student batch-wise.
Yeah.
Say A, B, C, D division is there.
Uh-huh.
So A division relation with the D division, which class and which subject they are performing well.
Yeah.
Whether D division is the language they are based or A division performance in math is based. We can compare that
Yes,
also.
you can compare. You see, you have seen those, those charts, those trend line charts. You can also create
Oh,
between two different students on a
oh,
particular subject. How are they performing?
yeah.
So it will be something like this over an interval of time out of the total marks, like this. Let's say I am going to now calculate how is Ram performing. Ram's total marks is this, right? And Ram and Sham's total marks are these. I'm going to do Ram and Sham basis. Then you can use this kind of a chart.
It's a line chart.
Yeah, this is a line chart.
Sir, even though we can compare with the this also about the question paper analysis
What?
dashboard.
Yes, exactly.
For example, sir, say in one question paper,
For the
particular, say for example,
question
10
paper
questions is there.
analysis
So there is a
dashboard.
two
For
questions is a very difficult. Say for example, 7 and 8 is a 7 and 9 is a difficult questions.
Hmm.
So we can compare that in which division or which class, which how many students has attempted that question,
Hmm.
and through that also we can do the critical analysis. Why this maximum student question number 1 and 4, all the students they are attempting, and these questions why not? So we can compare with that also. I
So
think so.
you mean
This
something
chart.
like this? So you want something to be made like this, right? So you have these question number five questions. Let's say I have all these 5 questions out here. These are my questions. Then I have students, or you say class, as you said, division.
Sir, we can make as a student, sir, because at least question 1, question 2, question 3 we have given. We can make as a student.
Okay,
For example, student's name, yeah, they have attended or not, like that.
Yeah, student can be whatever the students were.
Name we can give, sir.
Yeah. And attempted or not attempted, we'll rank it as 1 and zeros. Yeah. So you can, yes, exactly do this.
You can change it to students, sir, instead of question.
Yeah, any item. Let's say this is a line item. Right.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So this is my line item. These are my questions. And first, let me just put it up here like this. Yeah. Cool. So now we can, as you said, we can, just a second, huh? Yeah. Yeah. So we can select these data and we can compare students with their question attempts. So what graph would be a better graph here? What graph would be a better graph?
No idea, sir.
Okay. So see, you could either choose this one so that you can devise an analysis out of this. See, this is going to tell you that when you just add a quick style over here. Either this kind of a chart. So this tells you that question number one, this question number one has been, or rather, let me take question number two has been attempted by 1, 2, 3, and 4 people only, right? Out of a group of like 6 people, only 4 attempted question number second, right? And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, only 2 people attempted question number 3.
Yeah.
So probably question number 3 was a difficult question out of the lot, right? So yes, these dashboards can help you in making different assumptions. So you can also do this, you can go to this. Just a second. So what I can do here is I can also get a total. See, you can make now a chart of this. This would be the exact thing that you want. This. This is the analysis that we wanted. That question number 2 has been attempted. Question.
Yes, so this is a vertical bar chart is okay, I think.
Yeah. This tells us that question number 1 has been attempted by 4 people. Question number 2 by 1. Question number 3 by 3. Question number again 4 by 3. And question number 4. Question number 5 by 4 people. So technically, this will give me a better idea of the things, right?
Yes,
So
yes, sir.
this we can take up these two also. This we'll take it up into our dashboard. Six. Student comparator also. So see, this is how we make up our dashboard. So now I know this is my area, the whole area. I'll merge and center this. I'll just make some changes into this. I'll fill up some space. And in a single sheet, I get all the analysis done.
Yes,
So this
sir.
is how we can do the academic dashboard or any other dashboard. Just Similarly, a dashboard we can make of the actual sheet that we had. You know. Now, sometimes you will also need, when the data will increase. This was a very basic thing, but see, the main sheet that we were working on, the main data sheet. So if I have to make a dashboard for this, I will also need a working. I'll also need something that would probably be there, and I'll also need this part. In the other thing, we did not do any calculations, but here we will have to fetch some data. Let's say I make a dashboard, I will have to fetch this data also. You know, east sales, west sales, something like this. So this is what we call as a calculation sheet. Just this part, and I make up, this is my zone, this is my sales, and this is my profit. I just put up sales and zone first. I insert it. I recommend a chart. Yeah. So first, for making this kind of a chart, first what I have to do is, first I'll have to make up a pivot table, get my data from that thing, and then later shift on to the main things. So that is why I said that we will also need to have a calculation sheet for us, because once we make up a calculation, then only we will move ahead with the analysis or the dashboard part of a thing. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, cool. So with this, we will be shifting ourselves to a newer part. I hope this Excel part is quite clear with all of us, right? So I'll be shifting up now on a tool that I think some of you would have worked on, but mostly very less people or would be working on it daily, because we are from academics and we don't deal with such tools daily. So that tool is known as, we call that tool as a Google Analytics. So has anybody worked with Google Analytics?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, cool. So nobody of you has worked on Google Analytics. So
No, sir.
let me just tell you what Google Analytics does is, you see, you whenever you open your phones, whenever you open your mobile devices, or you visit some website, you get customized ads on the basis of the things that you were watching before on your mobile phone. You get advertisements,
Yes,
right?
sir.
So whenever you are working on any electronic device that is connected to internet, your data is continuously being analyzed. The data that you are working with is continuously being analyzed by large servers, large data warehouses, large set of companies who derive insights, and who on the basis of those insights recommend you ads, and on the basis of those ads make up your buying decisions. So one very powerful tool for that is Google Analytics. But before we go in deep into Google Analytics, let me tell you what Google Analytics does is, it takes your online data, how you respond on a particular website, how you respond on a particular page of a website, how you respond particularly over a site, maybe Amazon, maybe Flipkart, maybe whatever you are doing online, and it starts analyzing you on the basis of the things and then generates. So before before we head on with Google Analytics and I show you the dashboards of how Google Analytics works, what are the ways of including Google Analytics, so I'll just put up some common terms which should be known by you guys before entering into learning what a Google Analytics can do. So I'll just share my screen. Right? So this is just for a reference. I'll tell you very simply. Uh, let's start from a customer journey point of view. So first thing, what we call as is a page, which is known as a web page. So what is a web page? It is any page or any link that you open up on a search engine. So there is a search engine, right? There is a search engine and we search on a search engine and then we get some results, and on the basis of those results we go on to a particular page, and that page is known as a web page, right? And the first thing that is there is page views, right? So what are page views? Page views are the number of time a user like me, the number of time I open Amazon, Amazon gets a page view. So the number of time a user opens up a page, that is known as a page view. Now a page view is very critical in knowing that is this site reliable or not. The sites with higher page views will get higher rankings. You see, whenever you have some people, you have some websites, so whenever you go on Google and search somebody, it is not necessary that he comes up on the top of the search results page. Let's say if I do just a single thing, I start but first of all let me then, yeah. So see, if I just go here and search Sahil Call, right? And I press enter. So what happens is the moment I press enter, it gives me my whole data, right? It gives me somebody else also. There is somebody called as an associate director at KPMG, and there are LinkedIn profiles by the name of Sahil, right? There are some photographs, some of them are mine also. So this is there. It is not necessary. Now see, my page, right? If you see here, it is coming this place. But when I search Sahil Cole, it also gave me a result here. So this is on the basis of how well my page is working. Now, for that matter, if I just search somebody else, let's say I'll search Shah Rukh Khan, the actor. It quickly gives me everything about Shah Rukh Khan because his page is being managed, he's being searched by many people, he's being there as a constant search part, right? So the more number of page views he gets, the more good rankings, the more organic rankings he gets at the top of the search engines. So firstly, the Google where we search, this is called as a search engine, right? We call it as a search engine. So Google is a search engine, and in search engine we search. Now, if I say, see, if I want to buy something, let me see that if I if I want to buy something, just a second, anything like shoes. I see Puma shoes. Now you see, there are two different things that come up to me. One is this, and one is this. And what is the difference between these two? If you can see, by merely just seeing between this link and between this link, what is the difference? Is there any difference? Yeah, the two links are different, that is okay. But is there any difference between, the appearance of these two links? You see this small AD here?
Yeah, this advertise is given.
Yes, this is an advertise and this is an organic link. So what is the difference between an organic link and an advertisement is that these kind of rankings in a web page are in a search engine are gained through paid promotions. So we have to pay for them and then we have to qualify for a better website. So we have, once we pay, we get a top rank, and the below ones are organic ranks. So they have just worked on their sites and they have gained this organic stuff. So mostly when you go for shopping, you will see this, because in order to maintain a customer's interest, you need to get into his mind again and again. So whenever you search, Amazon will give you 3 ads also, and one his link to his site also. All four of them will lead you to Amazon only, but it is just to kill up the space at the first page. Because if I tell all of you, none of you would be going for searching a shoe. You won't go down here, you'll scroll here, and then you will move out that no, I don't like this, I'll go to the 7th page. None of us does that. So we want our top results on the first page. So whenever companies go for a market and go for a business opportunity, so what they do is they just kill up all the spaces at the top of the pages. This is called as a paid advertisement kind of a thing, and this is called our inorganic website ranking or inorganic space. This is the inorganic results that we are getting, right? So this was the one thing. So what a page view is, we are clear. What are visits? Visits is the different times when a customer spends on a site. On any site, when you spend some time, which is known as a session. So once you go on Amazon, your session starts. And when you go on searching the Amazon, the different visits you go to make to Amazon, those are your sessions. Okay. What is a unique page view? Now see, in order to maintain the data consistency in analytics, and in order to maintain a consistency of and the integrity of how a customer visits, what people do is people generally calculate the organizations generally calculate unique page views. So what they calculate is unique page views. So what is a unique page views? It is, once you have visited the first page of Amazon, it will only be counted as one in that particularly session. Let's say today I visited Amazon's homepage, it will be a unique visit. I visit some other page of Amazon, it will be a unique visit. If I revisit the first page, it will not be counted, it will be counted only as one visit in that particular session. So in a session, when we visit a page more than one time and it is counted as only one, it is called as a unique page view. Okay. Then there is unique visitor. It is just similar to it, that how a visitor is making up. So whenever you search something, a unique ID gets assigned to you, and that's your unique ID, and that unique ID would be used to differentiate you and the other customer. So a unique visitor is somebody with a unique ID who is visiting a particular site. Then there is new versus the returning users. New users, we already know that new users are people who will come again on the site, right? Sorry, new users are those who will come on the site for the first time, and returning users would be who are coming over and over again. So today I am visiting Amazon's first page, tomorrow I again visit Amazon, third day I again visit Amazon. So that is returning visitor. Okay. Then there are segments. So in order to analyze the data, we segment that data into different chunks. Let's say demographies, let's say genders, let's say income range, whatever, so that we can understand that this is a segment. Let's say I'll just take a simple example of two simple segments visiting a website. One is a returning user, and other is a common user. A common user is who's visiting a unique user. A unique user is there and a returning user is there. I'll segment them separately and I'll put up things onto them separately. So I'll analyze returning user as a separate base. I'll understand the unique users as a separate base because they both will behave differently. Then there is a landing page. So what a landing page is? Simply, landing page is, as you say, where you land on a website for the first time. When you open Amazon, you open up a single page, right? From there you go to different places. When you open Flipkart, the first page that is opened is your landing page, right? Then there is an interesting concept called as a bounce rate, right? What is a bounce rate? It is the percentage of users visiting your sites and then returning just after one page. Let's say you open up Amazon and you visit the first page and you just close your browser and leave. Your session gets ended. That will be counted as a bounce rate for Amazon, right? That the customer came to your site but didn't do anything. He just came and returned, and that customer got bounced back, right? Visitor flow, as you know, visitor flow is being tracked. When you come to Amazon, when you visit Amazon, what action steps you take at every point on that site is being calculated. Which pages you visit, how much time you spend on a single page, what content you visit on a single page, what action steps you do it. There are CTA is a term which we use in Google Analytics that is called as call to action buttons. So on Amazon you will find those buttons that just tell you to press here to go there, do this, it will happen this. So what is that for? That is for user interaction. The more users interact with the site, the less chances are that they will leave from your site and go back. And it helps in reducing our bounce rates, because bounce rates are very bad for your brand. Bounce rates are very bad for your organic rating. So the more the bounce rates, the lesser is the ranking. The less the bounce rates, they have an inverse relation actually. So then there is another thing called as traffic. So traffic is, like we say, cars on the road. Traffic is similar to that. Traffic is how much customers, how much visitors you have daily flowing in on your website in a particular time. And this can be divided into two ways. One is a direct traffic, which is when we tell that the customer visits. You open up Amazon and you go, right? Second is you are watching a YouTube video who said that I'll give it a link in my description and you just click that link and you will get to that product. So when you go via some other channel. You open up Instagram and there is, please go to my YouTube channel and please like, share, and subscribe. So when you go through those channels, those are called as referrals, right? So you are going through a referral channel. And when you are going through a referral channel, it will be considered as a referral traffic. And when you are going directly, it is considered as a direct source of traffic. Organic versus paid, we have already understood, right? So if you see, those ad wala part would be your paid and other would be your organic. Then there is keyword. So both for organic and inorganic channels, you need to have some keywords. So how the search engine searches is, the search engine will tell you, the search engine will decide on the basis of keywords, right? If I put up some keywords, it will give me some results. So it is very important, it is very important to select your keywords very efficiently. What keywords you use, you have to use unique keywords so that the customers quickly get onto you, right? Let me give you an example of mine only. I have used a keyword which is called as a multipreneur, right? We have heard entrepreneurs, right? We have heard other terms, intrapreneurs, entrepreneurs, but this is a new term which is called as multipreneur. So whenever you just search in Google multipreneur, right, and you press enter, so somewhere down the line it will definitely lead you to my page, because there it is written, not on the first page. Okay, you don't get it here also. Now I'll just change up the keyword a bit. You see, you get a link to my website there, right? So this is how it is done, because we have used those keywords into it. And now if you search, very simply, I'll not search multipreneurs in Jammu, I'll search Sahil multipreneur. It will directly put you through my site, right? So this is how the Google Analytics keywords work. Then there is some custom information which is events. So events are basically the segments, the things that we do in Google Analytics, those are called as events. It can be set up within Google Analytics dashboard, and they can be used up. Then there are goals. For every for understanding this, we create goals, we create our things which we want to achieve from the from the tracking, from the analysis. So those goals will tell me the objectives what I need to achieve. So I'll just 1 second put up a light. Better now. So now I will show you a basic overview of how Google Analytics dashboard looks like. So, firstly, let me see which account it has opened. So concern. Okay. You see, this is what data I can get from my page. I have put up, I made it for myself only. So this is something, which Google offers you for free. You can create, this is a master view just to show you, right? So what you get is, this is a website store for which this data is coming. So what you can get is users visiting your store, right? You can get revenue from your store. You can get the conversion rate. The conversion rate is person who has visited your site and then did some action and then also purchased something. So that is a conversion. It just came and purchased something. Then there are sessions, which are, it tells you 19K, 19,000 sessions have been there, and out of those, 3% was a rise. On the right side, we get the active users on the site, the page views per minute. See, 3 minutes ago it had 8 page views, then 9. Just in the last minute, it has 11. Active users on home page. On what page? How many users are active? This is the analysis that we can dig deep into. 3 users are active. 2 users on this page. 1 user on this page. Okay. Then what is the source? A direct source in October has been this. What is a paid direct source is 1.3 displays. Then there is affiliates, paid search, many different things you can get. These are my site performance. Then if you go much more deeper, you go down, you can even check that at what time of the day the user visits your site. See, 548 users were Wednesday 7 p.m. So if you see this part or this part, you have around many users at 12 a.m. to 2 p.m. So if you want to launch an ad, you should launch it between these two timelines so that you get a better benefit of it. You can even search from which country the person is visiting, right? So, United States, some people are visiting. What devices they are using, right? All those things. Now I'll show you one very quickly. This is basically what analysis can do through Google Analytics. I'll just quickly show you up what we call as a live demonstration of Google Analytics. So I'll just change this account first, huh? You see, this is uh, this is the page, and I'll show you one thing now. Can you guys see this page?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, cool. So how many active users are there right now?
10.
The active users there? Active users.
Active is 0, sir.
Active users 0. Uh, do you guys have your mobile phone or anything in your hand?
Mobile phone, sir.
You have, na? So I am just going to write it down like this. See, this is the URL that I have opened the page for, right? This is 0 right now. Now what I do is I just open up quickly this page. Okay, I opened this page and now I move back to my analytics page and it is showing me how many active users right now.
One.
It is showing me 1. Now anybody of you can just go through this link. Just open this link at your own browser.
Sign in the one.
I have opened, sir.
You have opened? There are
Yeah.
4 people who have opened it. Now, if I dig deep down that from where were these people coming up? So because our phones use proxies these days, it is showing me users for the last 7 days. For the last see what users are active, where they are active. So you have just opened home page. Can you just move to some other page? Go to some other page. I'll get this in real time report. See, some people have opened services.
I moved to product development, sir.
Yeah, you move to product development, so I can just see that some of my users have moved up. Real time report can suggest me all those things, and I can even know if I dig deep into this. See, I'll show you one thing. I can even know that I have 6 users active right now, and what is the basic today is 6th November, right?
7th number, sir.
Today is 7th. Okay, one second. I'll go to the real report. 6 users are active, right? And 50% of those 6, like 3 of you would be using it from a mobile and 3 of you from the desktop or a laptop,
Yes, sir.
right? So I can go much into details that which part of the country I'm getting it. Coimbatore, Bangalore, Hyderabad, see,
Chandigarh.
Chandigarh. These things will help me to take informed decisions, right? So if I see, let's say I have 1,000 number of peoples coming to my site from Chandigarh. So Chandigarh is a prime area where I need to put up my advertisements because people are coming from there. So all those things can be covered under Google Analytics, right? So this was basically what I just wanted you to show. This is a very deep subject. You have on not only one certification in Google Analytics, you will have around 5 6 certifications in this. It starts from beginners, then it starts from advanced, then it goes to power user, and it just goes up climbing, right? So you can go, these are all free certifications offered by Google, so you can go and try understanding what Google Analytics is. It will give you a very deep idea about how analysis is actually done. And once you get an idea that how analysis is done, you would replicate that same into Excel. You get idea about charts, what chart Google is analyzing, what charts I can create from the things. You can do all those things. So this would be it from our side. uh, I hope you enjoyed this whole session. And if you have any query and any questions regarding Excel or Google Analytics, you can just drop me or tell me right here. And we will be in connection on LinkedIn and also throughout the, WhatsApp is there, email is there. I'll drop every contact detail there so that you can just reach out to me whenever you need it. So anything from your
Sir, I think,
sides? Yeah.
sir, I think just I want to ask related with this data analytics about right now Google. I think the Reliance Industries they had done Jio ka network free 3 month, 4 month, and I think he must have collected so much different types of data, and through that he can prepare the different strategy for the different business organization about the
Yes.
telecommunication, about the
Yes.
network, and this which area the maximum people are bandwidth is using for his
Yes.
own
Yes.
business,
Yes.
or maybe he's supplying data to other this thing also because he has given the twice I think free data 3 months or something,
Yes.
and
Yes.
he must have observed this right now,
Yes.
sir.
Definitely, we have the data, but there is something called as data privacy. Also, we cannot share any personal data to anybody. So, as far as I am in the telecommunication sector, the telecommunication sector is so vast that we even have your call records, which are known as CDRs, right? So, what a person is talking, to whom he is talking, even that deep the data is with us, but we do not explore that data.
Yeah, yeah.
We can use that data only when there is, you have done something wrong and then the police asks us for that data. Then only we provide that data. Otherwise, it just gets stored in our data centers. It is used for the internal quality checks. We can devise strategies, as you said, on the basis of those data, and we can devise our products. You see, if you tell me about the telecommunication thing, what we do is we analyze the data of a particular place, and then basis that data we just understand that okay, this is a region where people are mostly calling STD. So I'll launch an STD pack there. I
Right.
see here students are coming more, so I'll launch a student centric pack there. So for those purpose we devise the strategies and we devise the things for there.
Right, sir. Correct, sir.
Okay,
Thank you
anything?
so much, sir. I enjoyed a lot. Even
Thank you,
though
thank you, Anand.
when I had done diploma in information technology long back, I had kept this. There was some exercise and some questions from the Excel sheet. I keep that optional things. But the last 2 days I enjoyed again, and I gone through that.